Persistent carelessness on the part of the contractor companies have rendered dozens of infrastructure projects across the country a failure, which has also posed a negative impact on the country's overall development. The Public Procurement Monitoring Office, however, has finally decided to blacklist 45 such contractor companies, including Papu Construction, which hopefully would help do away with irregularities in the development sector. Good morning, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. National Assembly concludes inundation in the Tarai mainly caused by Indian embankments along the no man's land region. Directs the government to force diplomatic initiative for a sustainable solution. A total of 45 contractor companies, including Papu Construction, blacklisted for exhibiting carelessness in works related to public infrastructure projects. Balance of payment deficit in national coffers climbs to over 90.8 billion rupees, as much as 41 billion rupees spent by the ones opting for abroad studies in the past 11 months. And pre-season trouble continues for Champions League winners Liverpool suffer a 3-0 defeat against Napoli. Chelsea brush aside Reading 4-3. The National Assembly has concluded that the Nepalese lands along the border region are inundated every monsoon due to the embankment constructed by India at the no man's land region. The National Assembly has directed the government to make diplomatic initiative for a sustainable solution to the problem. An assessment conducted by a team deployed by the National Assembly under the coordination of Ganesh Thimalsina came up with the conclusion. The team carried out field studies at 10 different affected districts in the Tarai region and concluded that the embankment along with the expansion of the roads along the no man's land area has been the major reason behind the inundation of the bordering districts. A meeting of the National Assembly held yesterday directed the government to come up with a master plan and put forth a diplomatic initiative to resolve the issue. The National Assembly has also urged the government to inform the Parliament about the implementation status of its recommendations.
प्रभाव क्षति राहत उद्धार र पुनर्स्थापनाका सम्बन्धमा तत्काल र दीर्घकालीन महत्त्वका साथ गर्न पर्ने उल्लेखित सुझावहरू नेपाल सरकारबाट कार्यान्वयन गर्न र कार्यान्वयन भएपछि राष्ट्रिय सभामा जानकारी उपलब्ध गराउन निर्देशन दिन्छु.
The National Assembly has also advised the government to avoid the encroachment of rivers during the construction of the postal and rural highways along with bridges. Citing that growing excavation of the Ture region has often led to serious natural disasters in the Tarai Madhes region every year, the monitoring team has concluded that the government's policy on preventing the extraction of sand from rivers has been counterproductive.
वन तथा संरक्षित क्षेत्र आसपासका खोलामा थुप्रिएको बालुवा निकाल्न नपाउने सरकारी नीतिका कारण पुल नै पुरिने लाग्दा र बस्तीभन्दा खोलाको सतह अग्लो हुँदा बस्ती बगाउने डुबानमा पर्ने जस्ता समस्या सिर्जना भएकाले यस प्रकारको नीतिमा पुनरावलोकन गर्न निश्चित मापदण्ड तय गरी लागू गर्नुपर्ने.
Meanwhile, the National Assembly has suggested the government to focus on the citizen settlement program in the flood-affected regions so as to rehabilitate the ones mostly affected by the floods and inundation. Likewise, the National Assembly has suggested the government to pay attention towards natural disaster management by ensuring proper coordination between all three tiers of government, establishment of an emergency fund, along with providing enough relief and emergency shelters to the victims. Now, moving on, a total of 45 contractor companies have been blacklisted for exhibiting carelessness in works related to public infrastructure projects. The Public Procurement Monitoring Office has blacklisted the contractors, including Papu Construction, after determining their utmost negligence in living up to their assigned responsibilities in the past fiscal year. The Papu Construction Company has been blacklisted following recommendations of the concerned project office itself after finding irregularities in the construction of the Duduwa Canal under the Sikta irrigation project. According to the Public Procurement Monitoring Office, Papu Construction will not be able to bid in the tender announcement of any public contract for the next 2 years. The office has penalized other 44 construction companies as well by blacklisting them for 1 to 3 years, concluding their extreme negligence leading to significant harm to the state coffers. Altogether, 56 project officers had called for action against their respective contractor companies. The office is, however, considering the complaints against the remaining 11 contractors.
गत आबोमा हाम्रो जम्मा दर्ता 56 वटा भएका थिए त्यसमा हामीले 45 वटा फर्महरुलाई चाहिँ कालो सूचीमा राखिसकेका छौं र 11 वटा जुन चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ ड्यू प्रोसेसमा भएकोले कन्टिन्यू छ त्यसको लागि 6 महिना टाइम भएकोले ती टाइम भित्रमै छन् हामी त्यसलाई सफाईको मौका दिने सूचना दिने त्यसबाट जानकारी लिने र बुझ्ने कामहरु गरिरहेको अवस्था छ गत वर्ष भन्दा यस आबोमा चाहिँ कालो सूचीका लागि लेखेर पठाइएका फर्महरु चाहिँ धेरै छन् बढेको छ रेशियो बढेको छ
The construction of public infrastructures is considered a milestone for development of any nation. However, the very entities have been mired in irregularities at the hands of the contractors in recent times, coupled with indifference on the part of the concerned authorities in monitoring and penalizing them. The people's representatives have resorted to accumulating benefits of their own rather than focusing on the citizens' welfare. Contrary to the public's aspiration, the Gandaki province government has recently consolidated its attention on increasing the facilities of its officials. The cabinet meeting of the Provincial Assembly even amended an act aimed at increasing compensation and benefits of its people's representatives. At the meeting held on Thursday last week, Minister for International Affairs, Law of Gandaki, Haribahadur Chuman presented a bill by amending the provincial law regarding remuneration and other facilities of the people's representatives. The provincial government has come up with the bill, although there is no clear provision in the federal law regarding dual benefits to the public representatives. After the endorsement of the bill, all the local level deputy chiefs and deputy chairmen of the province will be provided with vehicle facility. There are altogether 85 local authorities in the province. With the addition of the vehicle facility, the cost of the provincial government will also increase with regard to hiring drivers, fuel and maintenance. Likewise, the provincial government has provisioned remuneration facility to other members as well, equal to that being received by the officials in executive roles. The provincial members will be allowed to have a personal secretary each, and chief ministers, the speaker and deputy speaker are to be granted right to have an additional secretary according to the registered bill. The new provision is to significantly increase the provincial government's expenditures.
हामी स्वाभाविक रूपमा महँगो राजनीतिक प्रणालीमा छौं हामी स्वाभाविक रूपमा नयाँ राजनीतिक प्रणालीमा छौं यस्तो अवस्थामा त्यो राजनीतिक प्रणालीलाई चिन्ने भनेको त नेतृत्वले देखाउने परफर्मेन्सको आधारमा हो अब यदि नेतृत्वले के गरेको छ भनेर भन्दा आफ्नो सेवा सुविधा मात्रै बढाउँछ भन्ने हो त त्यसको असर आखिर गएर केमा हुन्छ भन्दा राजनीतिक प्रणालीमा हुन्छ राजनीतिक प्रणालीमाथि असर पुग्यो भनेदेखि हैन त्यो सिस्टम नै नरहने अवस्था आउँछ सिस्टम नरहनु भनेको संविधानमाथि नै के हुन्छ भनेर खतरा आउँछ
The Gandaki province government, however, has insisted that it is opting for increasing the benefits of the people's representatives to increase efficiency in service delivery and boost the prospects of the public welfare. The deficit of balance of payment or BOP has climbed to 90.83 billion rupees due to increasing expenses of national currencies abroad. At a time when the trade deficit has increased more than any time before due to drastic increase in imports, the growing number of citizens opting for abroad studies and traveling have also led to the exacerbation of the BOP deficit. The BOP deficit has increased by 86 billion rupees in the past fiscal year alone. This has mainly been attributed to a significant increase in imports compared to exports and the growing number of students vying for education in foreign institutions. The expenses of students opting for abroad studies alone stands at 40.98 billion rupees. Likewise, a significant amount of money has been spent abroad for buying computer softwares. The persistent increase in BOP deficit has been termed very risky to the overall national economy as well. The government reduced the maximum exchange amount for foreigners visiting the country to $1,500 aimed at alleviating the problem. The provision, however, has been hardly effective. The only way to decrease BOP deficit and increase national savings is by increasing exports, remittance, and the number of foreign tourists visiting the country. Welcome back. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the residents of Kapilvastu district what problems have they been facing at the Land Revenue Office. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
कर्मचारी छैनन् भन्ने ढिलासुस्ती काम हुने टाढाबाट महँगो भाडा तिरेर बर्खाको याममा खेती किसान गर्ने मान्छेहरूलाई असुविधा भइरहेको छ
पूर्जा हराएको पूर्जा लिन आएको म अलिक कामको अब
कर्मचारीको अभावले गर्दाखेरि अलि ढिलो छ।
कर्मचारी भन् जति नभएर अब 2-3 जना कर्मचारीले गर्ने काम एउटै कर्मचारीले गर्नुभयो, त्यसरी नै हामीलाई दुःख कष्टहरू बेर्नु परेको छ।
अनलाइन सिस्टम भएको, कर्मचारी कम भएको, त्यही भएर काम एकदम ढिलो सुस्ती भइरहेको छ।
अलिकता समस्या छ, अब कहिले कुन सर हुन्न, कहिले कुन सर हुन्न, त्यो काम गर्न अलि अप्ठ्यारै छ। यहाँ आउँदाखेरि 1 दिनको काम 2 दिन लाग्छ।
जग्गा पास गर्न थियो अलिकन काम चाहिँ ठिकै राम्रै भएछ।
अनलाइन सिस्टम भएदेखि कर्मचारी पनि कम छन्, त्यही भएर काम अलि ढिलो भइरहेछ।
यहाँ कर्मचारी छैनन्, कोही अब कता गएछन्, यसमा जानुस् भनेर जनताहरूलाई, सर्वसाधारण जनताहरूले अल्झाउने काम भएको छ।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what is your take on the province to government buying solar pumps of inferior quality at high prices and distributing them as grants to farmers? Your options are A. Dominant nature, B. Corruption strategy, and C. Learning from the center. The voting is on. You can type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With this, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
European champions Liverpool's pre-season woes have continued. Liverpool suffered a heavy 3-0 loss against Napoli 7 days before their domestic campaign begins against Manchester City in the Community Shield. Lorenzo Insigne was involved in 3 goals at Murrayfield as Liverpool made it 4 pre-season games without a win. The striker called in the opener before setting up Arkadiusz Milik with a fizzing low cross after half an hour, and the rebound from his shot fell kindly to Amin Younes to complete the scoring after the break. 7 of the starting 11 that had beaten Tottenham Hotspur in the UEFA Champions League final in Madrid were in the team, but Liverpool were still without key attacking trio of Roberto Firmino, Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, as well as Brazilian goalkeeper Alisson. These 4 are yet to play a minute during pre-season because of international commitments. In another pre-season friendly played yesterday evening, Chelsea secured a 4-3 win against Reading. Sri Lanka have clinched the 3-match one-day international series against Bangladesh. Host Sri Lanka secured a 7-wicket win in the second ODI to secure an unassailable 2-0 lead in the series. Bangladesh won the toss and elected to bat first in Colombo, where they could manage an average total of 238 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in 50 overs. The visitors had lost 6 wickets when the scoreboard read 117 runs, but the 7th wicket partnership between Mushfiqur Rahim and Mehdi Hassan Miraz took Bangladesh to a respectable total as they featured in an 84-run stand. Mehdi Hassan scored 43 while Rahim remained unbeaten at 98 runs. Akila Dhananjaya, Isuru Udana and Nuwan Pradeep picked 2 wickets each for the Lankans. In reply, Sri Lanka chased the target in 44.4 overs, losing only 3 wickets. Aviska Fernando scored 82 and securing the win for the hosts. Angelo Matthews scored 52, while Kushal Mendes remained unbeaten at 41 runs. Sri Lanka had won the first ODI by 91 runs. Third and the final ODI of the series is slated for Wednesday. It is now time for the special segment of The Beat.
The production of traditional churpi, a form of hardened cheese which was quite popular abroad as a diet for dogs, has been hampered in recent time. Dhankuta, Ilam, Terathum are among the hilly districts in eastern Nepal that are quite popular for this churpi production. The churpi produced using local technology is exported to countries like the likes of America, Japan, Taiwan, Korea and Canada, among other nations. However, these nations have now raised questions over the quality and hygiene of the locally produced churpi and cutting down on its import. There is no local mechanism to test the quality, neither investment to enhance the standard of churpi production. Given the scenario, unless the government lends support to the local entrepreneurs involved in the churpi business, Nepal stands at the risk of losing foreign market for churpi consumption. Gairigao in Sunsari's Itahari has been used as a vote bank for political parties in Nepal. However, with the Buri Khola river eroding the bank every year, the entire village faces the risk of being swept away. This village, located on the banks of Buri Khola, was non-existent just over a decade ago. It was first the then Maoist rebels who in 2006 had seized the land to provide settlement for homeless squatters. The settlement was provided infrastructure support by succeeding governments in the country over the years. The Gairigaon settlement becomes a serious headache every monsoon season. 2 years ago, 7 people were killed when the entire settlement was submerged underwater. The settlement is still high on alert, but the concerned authority has not taken much initiative to address the long-standing problem. Commuters need to wade through 10 rivers while covering the 57-kilometer journey in Dang's Lamahi-Tulsipur road section. In the absence of bridges, the commuters face massive risk in crossing the swollen rivers using various transport means. Some 5 bridges are under construction over these rivers for the past 5 years. The Road Division office in Dang was scheduled to finish the construction of the 5 bridges last year itself. However, with the contractor companies missing the deadline, the government is simply planning to extend the deadline by a year rather than ensuring there is no further delay in the completion of the projects. This is Sarah Sapsanamma for Kantipur News Desk.
That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day ahead.